I did not sleep with one.
Now you also select your money for interviews.
Me man Nibino. Send I am a young sukakra. I discipline myself for the sake of the company.
But where can it be found?
And they've been found me you already. And therefore, if you ask me, it's worth giving Muhammad a chance.
Okay.
Because he's been there before. I think Ghanaians have to take Muhammad very seriously because he's been there before. He must have a lot of regrets. He must have a whole lot of things that he wants to change.
You're watching Happy Home TV. For more entertaining and educative videos, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on the notification button. Follow us on Facebook at Happy Home TV. Call us on +233 540 523957 or email us on abnagin2022@gmail.com. Happy Home TV, your home of entertainment and lifestyle trends.
Develop. And we had to infect the other bank with the same culture, which was almost impossible to do. They wouldn't change. UT4 was suspicious of the BPI staff. The BPI staff were also suspicious. It used to be us and them all along. And I tried hard to merge the two so we have one culture. What worsened the case was that we also had, because we didn't have bankers, UT bankers.
Okay.
So then we had to actually recruit bankers from almost all the other banks. Some came from Access Bank, UBA, Stanchart, wherever. Okay. And when they came, because they were top bankers, they were sitting on top of all the departments. So all of a sudden there's a gap between me and my normal staff. Because they came in between with their cultures. You understand what I'm saying? The one culture, ever share culture and spoil the culture. And then, of course, because we had also changed the processes first, and now with this kind of this time we have to do relationship banking and a whole lot of things, which is not the same. So, long story short, what happened was that the clients started defaulting on tears. And some of the staff will collude with the staff with the client.
Oh yeah,
I know someone. What about also be a few the kind of who cry if you are friends or maybe kind of about so. I said, "Sky the over to here into the Mamka Crab now the na fight and all sort of things that happened."
And your workers now,
the workers, but the workers, staff colluding with the. And then we also had problems with the energy sector because the government wasn't paying the foreign component and all sort of things, and we were doing collateral management and all sort of. So the net effect is that we started making serious losses. So we couldn't pay dividend in 2014, and then 2015 it was even worse. Bank of Ghana asked us to write off some loans. We write off, virtually the bank has to recapitalize. But we did. And we put together restructuring plan for the bank to capitalize it, to improve on the collections, to get cheaper deposits, to have a look at the risk management and all sort of things. And we shared it with Bank of Ghana that this is what we're going to do. So part of it was that we had to find more capital. Okay. And we were talking to Bank of Ghana about it. Now, so when this government came to be, well, we had already started the negotiations with the bank, and we're seeing them all the time. We had firmed up a reconstruction plan.
A year government?
AMPP.
Okay.
AMPP government.
Okay.
So I personally was surprised that they took a decision to just close the bank without even informing us.
Because, just like that?
Because bank, he closing the same I was saying, watch it, I mean, so the issue is, whilst we're discussing with Bank of Ghana, at some point they had decided that they will not go on with the discussion, and they were going to close the bank. But they didn't make it known to us. The way the bank was closed, I'm sure Fifi, you heard about it. And Opahemachi, before 6, not police for any media for I call Yebubu UT signages into Senia Bosumbia Yachin Serbia Akofo Obiri. And that's not the way to close it. And but that is what happened. Now incident is interesting enough. Number me to me. Weekend as normal. Me saw a permanent me me sorry, be 7:30. Maybe my bathroom, my very CNN kakra. And this thing started 6 o'clock, so the news was everywhere.
Everywhere.
So then it was when I put on my phone and who said,
calls.
I have about 60 something calls. I read. Then I called my daughter. Said, why is the whole world looking for me? No, I say maintain news. I'm saying, sorry. No, I say listen to any station. Now, government has taken over UT Bank. So true, I turned on the radio and it was the main news item. So I dressed up and drove to Accra to come and meet Bank of Ghana for say why that action and what do they have. Basically, rather, I was taken to court for investigation at Yoko, and then they took my passport, and then they processed my documents for court, and I'm in court.
I see how that's all.
That's what court Tuesday, make a court.
Wow. And then the double and say yes, so best friend. And then bank no cry a collapse here.
Mainly hard facts, but it's interesting because these are so-called Achim people, and I'm an Achim man. And I was friends with all of them. So for them to come to power and do what they did without even consulting the Kofi Bertrand, say, looks like your bank is going bad and, you know, whatever. What you say, personal hatred or an agenda to have their own against me for whatever it is that I did. That is quite obvious.
Now, our best friend will not also run a bank.
My best friend, who is my best friend?
Friend in all my whatever it is.
No, I think what you're trying to say is that the Minister of Finance, but interesting enough, he called me the day before the bank was closed down. And we talked about funny things, and I didn't mention it. But that time, the certain Minister of Finance knew, said they closed the bank. So that's what happened. And I went to see him when the bank was closed. And he said, and I asked him, did you call me? And I mean, I mentioned that I said, oh, friend. And also he called me. And I'm saying, at that time, you know, he said the bank was to be closed down the next day. So why didn't you tell me? I said he didn't have the words to tell me. I believed him because Ubia is different. But what happened consequently, not only did they take over the bank, they closed all the accounts of all subsidiaries of UT Holdings, UT Logistics, UT Life, all closed all your accounts. And then I wanted to see him, but then he wouldn't see me. You know, so then you realize that because Bank of Ghana can't close those companies, they are not regulated by Bank of Ghana. So who was using what powers to freeze the accounts of all of those things?
What you want to see here? Do you have that belief in you, say? He's part of it.
One thing, Fifi, I want to know. Me, bear graduate, I don't have time to hate people. I don't have time to bear grudges and go to the past and get hurt. And what I live for the present. Whatever has happened in the past, I take lessons out of it and move on. And me time will be main dream will be that is my life. Who go for a shower me no straight HR. Maybe I say but after all, how long am I going to interact with you? 2 minutes at best. And I may be to hurt myself. I don't have time. And to me say believe me, I don't beg. In fact, the only problem that I have is that manage it to be one makosa baby. Now once I can't imagine bank or sat near saying me mukaka.
Everybody say say the same best friend here can once me say meeting me and it's yes obuane pay no cry na the bank cry here collapse and obeji I think
all the people in power now, let me put it this way, all people in power now, at one point of time or the other, they came to me for me to bail them out, and I did.
You did that for them?
Yeah, all of them.
And I would you buy it to me?
But then they're on there, and I just offer children.
You did well.
That's a fact. You know, as long as you mention names,
I know.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Say all the top people around Ghana now, at some point in time, they sat in front of me and I bailed them out of their trouble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Affected.
But I say, no. Well, I be affected, but I say, so be a pull down. I just don't know I send you pull you down. So they've always envied you being where you are. That's why they will pull you down. So leave them alone. Don't waste your time on it. Affected me, yes, of course. Quickly, I had to sell my house and I'm a team, reorganize myself, and buy a flat, move away from the big building because it won't work. Live in a flat, manage my finances, and that's it. But the point that I have to say is that a lot of people say they don't see how I'm making it, and they say BBI. The answer is very simple. You should stay humble at all times. When I was UT Bank CEO, most respected CEO, what I'm in Papa Bako. I did not sleep with one.
Now you also select your money, for interviews.
And then, me man, said I am a young sukakra. I discipline myself for the sake of the company.
But where can it be found?
And they've been found me, you already.
Ubedding for the bid of found.
Nipa bear said 5. I could prove 7 that me already.
Because when you be
the reason why I put that policy in place is that just as you are saying, Obana Pejuma Kra, why you look at Nipa bear training better answer.
Yeah.
Onya Pejuma Munswa, appraiser, promotion, because they are not sleeping with them or because they are sleeping with them, then that determines it. And I had to eradicate that from the system. And it was done. So maybe we are number one tier there. But since you know it's a company policy HB, the lady can say it's a master and passion measurement to me. And the man can't force it because me tia me unity. So everything starts with the leadership. The corruption, everything which is in Ghana made me stop. It's from the leadership. Listen, I can go on about one thing which irritates me most of the time is the way we don't keep time
to work
to every place.
Okay,
this can be changed by the president in a day. Within 2 weeks, Ghanaians will respect time. If the president keeps all appointments on time, and he sanctions his ministers who don't report on time for meetings or whatever, and then and holds them responsible to make sure that when subordinates are reporting on time, it will be solved. But we have a situation where the minister or the president, in this case, is late about 2 hours, and I'm saying this on authority because all Kaise or him be, I'm sorry, national anthem or President Bufu.
Yeah.
Or he not apologize, but his apology, and I'm saying. Apology or say, I bet now 2 hours as a president. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
So, 2 hours now, I'm gathering in our transit.
Not so they drew so.
Exactly. Institution except at a larger scale. So, on that score, Japan has something that we could try. Because if you look at the heads of states now, I don't think we've had any serious businessman.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But again, I look at President Mahama, and what I have to say about him is that we've never had somebody who's been president before becoming president again. It's only Mahama. And therefore, if you ask me, it's worth giving Mahama the chance.
Okay.
Because he's been there before. You think me, if UT should be back as in where it was, and I go back, I won't repeat those mistakes. I know exactly the mistake that I committed.
Yeah.
So on that score, I think Ghanaians have to take Mahama very seriously because he's been there before. He must have a lot of regrets. He must have a whole lot of things that he wants to change. And I know him to some extent.
Okay.
I know that he's very, very humane person and quite humble too, both him and the wife.
Okay.
So the first time maybe he was misled in a whole lot of areas. Second time around, he's got things better pleased in hindsight.
What party be more?
Ghana. The party in Ghana. But Ghana na aji gone.
I'll go video the one see. I say Ghana don't have to go. About we say by on ye bibia when you saw it, and I was who say why ye bibia abo amai.
See, I would say this for people to reflect on it. One of the biggest challenges we have, and they say, when parties come to power, especially this government, they politicize all institutions. It's a very dangerous thing to do. Anthony Yankos, because they put their own people on all the as heads. Either they don't know what to do because they are not qualified to be there, or they are qualified but then they are used as stooges. So even though you know what to do, you dare not do it. You do what we say you should do because we put you there. Now, the only good thing that has come out of it, maybe Ghanaians are not aware, is that there's no coup. No coup because the army has been politicized. And therefore, the heads are NDCs, MPPs. And in the army now, which is very sad, soldiers are polarized politically. When I was in the army, my time, two things you never discuss about in the armed forces: religion and politics, because you were there for the state.
Yeah.
But now, as we speak, religion, soldiers belong.
Yes, it will be so.
Very interesting.
So on the 4th of the Basso.
I think we need politics in Papa, but they suppose in your general vote, the delegates are going to vote.
Yeah.
From the indication first round, the delegates are behind Vice President Bawumia. But I think Kennedy, Japan has made some waves of people to say maybe they want some kind of change. Because quote number of gentlemen I'm there. Maybe they want to try somebody or a rabble rouser. They say that's what I'm hearing in town. But I personally don't think Kennedy Japan can win enough at the delegate stage. If he does it, great guy. But that's my feeling. Excuse me. Like I said, politics in your area up, but I read the papers and I listen to social media and I see what's happening.
About for say Honorable Kuta Papa J charisma nibi.
It depends who is speaking, because I think for somebody who wants to be head of state, people find it difficult to take it and associate it with you. But Papa J no buy no, I don't know where Ghana for. Papa J, Nipo Kumbi and I don't know where Ghana for.
One year bibia.
No. I mean, what happened to us? But we had some stability, and then he gave us the Fourth Republic. But really, everybody who's talking about Ghana and Nigeria will say Papa J had the best opportunity to turn this country around. But it didn't happen. So, I'll tell Papa J and today, I don't see it as
what the way I'm working on almost feel say Ghana for your swording. Until we need a radical man like that.
Na yenyane na etuo ne gas ne di akire no kwa ansesan. Na we are o de devin. Oni to kwa to. I don't know if you know that. But so Ghana forces stand there. Because personally, and I hope in the first place, do they mean well? Even if they mean well, they have huge tasks ahead of them.
Wow.
So we are in a fix. And that's what the country is. And then you find a lot of young people that I go around to talk to about entrepreneurship and things like that. Some of them look at me and say, Mr. Mwabi, or I have But what I tell them is that when there are difficulties and times are hard, it means there are a lot of opportunities. Believe in yourself, build yourself up in capacity-wise, and be hardened and be humble and take issues on, and you'll make it. But how many will make it, I don't know. But I know that when times are hard, then there are a lot of opportunities.
Uncle Sisi, what's Rodipa?
Oh, the part there. So what do? You have to live with them.
But what for what gain? And on any Panam.
I won't put it that way. Me nini Panam me expect if you feel if it's nice, we have a good time, and you go away. Some people come to my house and you to me, bed daho, or bed numsa, bedidi, do a cry, some of family. You won't believe it. So we always have
it will be continue as a papa yon nominous
and so I pay for the friendship and get I get a bit of bad reportage about myself. What can you do? But there are few good friends, so you have to actually know who are the good ones and keep as little as possible. Don't open yourself to all sort of people. That's my position now.
I was here. Your bra penny, your papa, your uncle, and your Prince Kofi Amwabin, and the wolf video must say, 18 minutes past 3. Tibobonia, Nete was ye pana, and they ye tin some I ye 2 year for youth no ye 2 more for. Boamo sorry, I'm ye Saka one nomonia, Uncle Fisa Saka was a wee dani, it drew some near their dinner. I almost almost transfer no with you. I was here to me who will be by Yasipa, own Yesica than it is on your work where Yesica drew in inside your man and say, even at all say, a mountain or the biggest cardiac sale, say, whatever, that's will free my pay.
Me Nimna mentia say, because me 1 hour. We go beyond school, da. Now, te, a baby, the conditions crying yet. No more in Jessica. No, but the amount just can't go or so I don't know. Meaning, if it works anyway, I haven't thought about it. I just don't believe it. I think what people do is probably scam other people for their money. Now, I'm a damn to me, another. You don't.
Wait to operate to wall, Anna.
See. The walls of the dam have a limit because the water is pushing against that wall.
Okay.
And if you don't do the water no nation, the force will break that.
Okay.
And when that happens, it's uncontrolled. The water will just swoop
that
down.
That is it. We'll be able to control.
So they had to spill. The management of it, maybe it wasn't done to perfection, but at least the people should have been moved from where they could envisage there, it should not be thought of as a political thing. I say here, you know, Ghana for no money, they be lose on life, on properties, probably even some lives. And we also want their politicians. I said, be a politician. We should, I say, and then it's good we've seen people going to donate things and things like that. It should not be politics for you to say they will blame the government or anything. It's technical. The dam had to spill. They had to spill the water because otherwise the whole dam, Ghana for dam, Akuzobu dam, will be in danger.
That is it.
And the spilling was spilled, but then maybe the controlling the after effects or the effects during the spilling maybe wasn't done to. I'm not in a position to criticize.
They are so president and the remarks make you a honor. No, saying me no to me no. Now I've thought say he was trying to crack jokes. I
guess so, but
it wasn't the right time.
Yeah, at that time, the father of the state, you have come to console them. That's what they needed.
Yeah,
and your voting time for us.
You think sir also Otumi Rena's kind of apology be na omotiase?
I think apology after he said those things.
Yeah.
We can let the Minister for Information and other things control the damage. But it's unfortunate because the people needed to be consoled, they needed empathy and not talk to them about voting or who voted well.
Okay. Abusia, you will video more say, engineer, sorry, sir. Adiaba Kosua, Ghana for say, Mimbisao, Oba Bisao, say, Ebiasa, Oti, and I say,
Ghana for pay.
So,
who was
Ghana for?
Okay,
Ghana for say, Mimbisao. I would say,
You're watching Happy Home TV. For more entertaining and educative videos, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on the notification button. Follow us on Facebook at Happy Home TV. Call us on +233 540 523957 or email us on abnagin2022@gmail.com. Happy Home TV, your home of entertainment and lifestyle trends.